this a lot is
There we go.
we
We're good.
sort of soft launched Nico.
Yeah.
Because everybody, everybody who's seen the whatchamacallit, the preview and all that, they knew Alex. They knew
Yeah.
who he was. It's not a new face, nothing like that. But adding an entirely new player, I really, really wanted to make sure that we got the gist of Jade's character. She's resourceful, she's intelligent, she's very capable,
Yeah.
and she can talk. She can talk a mean game and back it up. So it was important to me that we sort of give her the Black Widow treatment, where her first show up was one
Ooh.
of competence and capability, and
Yeah.
sort of like she didn't really need to be saved.
Yeah. I love that Black Widow reference because I was feeling that the whole time. Like in me and Hero, we watched Avengers all the time, and like that, I felt it. I felt it. I loved it. I'm gonna get the episode started here. Unfortunately, our mic was muted a little bit here, so don't be afraid to repeat some of the things you said, because we can say it again. Do what we want. Ooh, that beautiful logo. What's up, buddy? Oh, you need help with this? Mm.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Thanks for everyone tuning in tonight. We have another great episode for everyone. We got a new partner. If you know from all our folks, we got Echoe Foundry to partner with us.
Oh, Marina, heads up. It's even more hard to hear your voice when it's sped up.
But until then, go check them out at eldritchfoundry.com or on
What's up?
Instagram.
It's even harder to hear your voice
for 15% off
when it's sped
You keep
up.
cutting out, Matt.
What's that?
All right.
You keep cutting out.
Oh, it's even more difficult to listen to your voice. I know everyone has like that complex where like, oh my gosh, my voice, right? It's even more difficult when it's sped up.
So go check them out. They're awesome.
Okay.
It's-
Yeah, I haven't experienced my voice sped up.
Oh, it's a lot. Oh boy, my mic's really coming down here. That's fine. Everything's fine. We're just going with that. Everything's fine. And we're going with that. Oh, wow, this really good.
We'll go ahead and get started.
Oh man, I actually, while we're here, I mean, Eldritch Foundry has been awesome working with them recently, especially as we're getting ready for this new project, which I'm gonna just go ahead and say it here. All the partners been kind of solidified. We're working on a new project. I'm not gonna say the partners, but I'm gonna say the name. We're working on a new project called Table of Tales here, and we're gonna be producing it and coming out soon. Eldritch Foundry has been an awesome partner for getting everything aligned for our July shoot. And we're going to have a lot more information for that coming up. But I wanted to just take some time and say shout out to them for everything. And you can hear me also say it in the background.
We got a great new group of partners.
Holy cow,
in
Inception.
due time. But tonight's episode is brought to us by so go check them out. Use our code DDC Live for 15% off checkout.
Yeah.
Tell them Valen sent you, right? While you're watching tonight's
Right off the rip, I got to find that green jacket again.
And then post on our Instagram and I'll share them all. So
I got to find someone in the Rock of Brawl or some later that offers that, because that was like 22. Yeah, it was like $22 and I kind of gave it to a homeless guy. And as soon as I took it off, I was like, yo, what? I was like, I shouldn't have done that so quickly.
Wait, maybe it'll show up again later down the line.
Yeah. Well, in the story I did. So canonically, I don't have my green jacket anymore. It stinks.
And of course, our newest guest,
you know.
Really interesting character. I think we're all.
I was trying to do the Batman scene where, he's like, he gives it to the homeless man and he turns around and is like, be careful with that. But then he becomes Batman.
No, we all got that vibe.
I just locked my hands in cuffs. But we'll get to that.
And maybe Czar won't have to play the face every time.
No, I'm still gonna make it. Still pushing every time.
All right. It's funny because even with his voice sped up, Dayton's still really easy to understand.
Yeah.
Yes.
He's kind of always on 1.25 speed anyway. Everybody had a really solid moment, so I think everybody deserved an inspiration.
Congratulations, Jade.
Tin Man for
we're just catching up to him with this
character and sort of shunting Czar into face duty, as it were.
Turn on the sound a
A
bit.
very heartfelt letter to Skarok, implying a deeper connection and a deeper friendship there that we may not have seen, but may yet still see.
Nico for misinterpreting Valen's attempts to bond and punching him in the face, which is a very novel way to respond that way. And
Nico
Czar
punched
for
Valen in the
S2E4 as I put
face.
in my
With a
notes,
slap
Mark.
face.
Hey,
I love Josh's laugh.
And Rat Stash.
And also
Yeah.
Rat Stash.
If I could give a
Adorable.
second, I would for Rat Stash.
Josh is
I
actually
love it.
super easy to get laughing
Alright,
really
so
hard.
previously on Echo
To the
the
point
Exorcist,
at work,
our
like
daring
I gotta
adventurers
be
touched
like,
down on
hey,
Brawl.
don't make Josh
Busting a
laugh
metropolitan
anymore.
settlement that acts as a crossroads in 9 locations within
We
the
got stuff to do. Cut it out.
Scarrock begins by asking
It's
Mert some
so
sensitive questions
funny.
about the smiling moon and his golden dragon he's seen. Mert has few answers, but suggests that he seeks out Elmander's astral charts, a cartography shop.
Such an infectious laugh
While
too.
rolling on Mert's words, Scarrock then seeks out Tin Man, who clues into the fact that this isn't just curious questions. Scarrock is leaving. Tin Man offers what he can, suggesting that the
Dude,
smiling moon
the-
sounds like a tavern. And if anyone knows anything about taverns, it's their competition.
Product quality not
They
good.
say a fond goodbye before Scarrock makes his way.
Oh, I wish you had been there for that.
Czar has fewer answers, but does receive
Oh,
In what
from
reference?
Saturday night's
This was in
episode.
our-
form of a goat-like
Yeah,
mute
our
from Scarrock's
SKT
back
group.
Czar and Scarrock agree that should their paths cross again, or should Czar be putting together...
I heard it was great,
they
dude.
will reunite.
Alex was telling me about it.
So good.
Casting his gaze about for Valen, Scarrock finds the astral elf absent, saddened that he wouldn't be able to give Valen a proper goodbye. Packing his things, few as they are, and collecting Ryback, Scarrock takes his next steps into his fate. Valen pops his head out shortly thereafter.
Some of the
Wow,
dumb little
he sees
faces I
Valen.
do.
He chats for a moment
It's
before
actually a
going into
buddy
Valen
of
to seek out
mine
a
I
temple
served in the
god
Marine
Props
Corps
to
with.
Fiora.
He used to make those
Meanwhile,
faces,
Tin Man
like
seeks to
these
discover
weird
Valen
little
and learn about
faces in
Valen's armor.
formation
Him and Czar head off to
all
Valen,
the
a
time,
small
and it
evergreen
used to
tavern
make
run
me
by Maya,
laugh
a
so
mousy
hard.
woman that seemingly moves into people's cellars to sell
And
drugs.
it kind of was just like a thing I kind
They
of
come
just
across some of
started
the happenings
doing
of the
now.
burrows, where Tin Man insists that Czar take the lead, offering
Gosh, I
assistance as
remember
assistant.
just
Tin
laughing
Man
so
does
hard
help
and
Czar
getting in
traverse the
trouble.
conversation. They eventually learn how to
Well,
find the
it's-
rock rat to go
it's
to lurk
quite,
and look for, well, rats.
Amusing. I
Following
won't
the
Yeah.
deny.
conversation, it's not long before they do indeed encounter a rat sitting on a rooftop, watching them closely. Czar reaches out telepathically and asks for guidance to the rock rat, and received said guidance, much to his and Tin Man's surprise.
This whole time I was like
His
setting
hand is
up
off and leads
my
them to the cellar door marked with a
my lines and like stuff that I would
They
You
say.
look
and
really-
one-liners. Like I had my scripts
Really
pulling up while I'm
engaged, ready to go.
doing this while you guys are all talking. So the whole time I wasn't speaking, I was doing prep.
I kept looking over at your screen to see if you're like smiling and having fun. Like, oh boy, I hope she's like. And I just realized you're like super in character, right? But like these first 5 minutes, I was trying to like read your energy, see if like you're at least enjoying the space, right? And immediately I was like, oh god, she's not gonna, like, you know what I mean? Like she hasn't smiled. Oh no, what? But you're just really in character,
I was focused.
I know. At the time though, I kept looking over like. When we do the games, I'm always hoping everyone's enjoying themselves. So I'm always looking at people's cameras to see if like their reactions, right?
Mhm.
And when I saw your reaction, I felt like internally like, oh no. If you could look at my face, like
Taking their advice, Valen ambles back to the crowd, seeking to right a wrong and send a letter.
it's kind of like the masters of ceremony. Sometimes like you gotta.
Speak with Maya, who proposes a
I
game
try to
with
think,
Malana.
keep energy.
To cover
Ah.
in exchange for
Oh yeah, that's a good one,
satisfactory
buddy.
answers. They grill each other
Okay,
back and
how
forth,
is
and
this?
Maya alluding to some festival.
Oh,
and
that's a
Valen
real
explaining
cool
that
one.
R2, known as the canon master of brawl.
I got to
No
figure out
criminal
why
crime,
my camera
and
was
refuses to
jittering,
sell to him
but
his.
I'll get that situated.
I think it's actually my feed. I have
She also explains
all
that Radcliffe
these
was pulling back from the mining game.
videos I'm compressing and editing,
They briefly discuss the fires that have been happening.
but
and Maya
I
drops
don't
that there was a
know.
light burning
I
in
have
the
no
room,
idea.
coming from
I'm not a tech
So
guy.
that's someone for them to meet at the Happy Beholder. She then clocks that Czar is indeed General Czar, which prompts Czar to realize he needs a disguise. Maya and
Yeah,
her
Mark's
Rattler procure a mustache
voice is
to
off
Czar
a
to
quite a
keep
bit
him
this
one
episode, but
coined the Rat Stash.
that's not the magic,
Valen sets
it's
off by
the
a post office
story.
to send a delayed letter to Scarrock with some
Yeah, I
heartfelt
noticed
words
that
and
in
promise of becoming a better
the
person
last
as
few
a man,
episodes that
and an apology for his behavior.
my
The
sync
party
has
meets
been
at the Happy
off a
Beholder,
little
where they
bit.
meet large
Yeah.
Luigi and order a Jade Tsunami by Mert's suggestion.
I decided not to worry too much about it because, like you said, it's more about like hearing it and paying attention than
If there's-
actually watching.
Yeah, if there's one or two parts of the episode you get out of sync or someone does, it might be worth editing it down. But if someone's video feed's chopped but their sound's good, that's
the single unboarded window.
we
allows
got
the
that
ambient light to
mind's
see
eye.
the
If you can't
light
if you
and
can't
light
close your
and
eyes and
light
imagine anyways, like
in the center of the room. is a
Oh,
little shed,
how'd you make it
occupied
to
by an individual
D&D?
just out of the square light let into the midst of
I
it.
think it's wild to think
Pacing back and forth in
some
front of the window is
people
the silhouette
like
of your captor.
don't have a mind's eye.
Finally, he stops pacing. In the
Yeah,
inky black
some
outline
people
of the ceiling
don't.
Like
and
that-
turns towards you.
Not there's anything wrong with it, but like when I learned that, I was like, what? And then it makes sense, but dang.
Tell me, Fox, why are you
You know someone who doesn't.
Really?
I could ask you the same
Yeah.
thing.
It's me.
Why go through
Yeah,
all
it's
that effort
Mark.
to catch me?
What?
Who's been
Yep,
feeding you
I have
lies?
aphantasia. I do not have a mind's eye.
I'm a good
Everything
friend,
in my
so
head is words.
Having a bout.
Really?
Yeah, I'm about
Yep,
shit.
it's all
Actually,
narrative
friends
all the
and
time.
family,
I
all
literally
same
hear my
actions.
own voice in my
What's
head.
that all about?
I mean, I guess I kind of do too, but like,
Who's been feeding
not
you
like-
these lies?
But it's
interesting.
exclusively voice. Like if I close my
Yeah.
eyes and try to imagine something up, nothing happens.
Someone doesn't know what she knows.
It's pretty
strange because you're
incredible,
so
actually.
creative.
Yeah, it's like
That's
explaining
one
to a
area.
blind person the color green. That person still has a creative
Trying to
ability.
find the
It's
flaws in that.
fascinating.
It's against my policy to hit a lady. The way
Well,
I see it,
anyways,
It's
when I
not
found out
frivolous.
people
Sure.
didn't have like a mind's eye like that, I was like,
That's what
really?
got me wrong.
But I mean, yeah, it makes sense.
I'm not one of Zeloja's dogs anymore. Do tell
It's
me a physical description.
against
of the
my
woman
policy
you
to hit a lady.
Show you have the right girl.
we ain't seen her.
You
but now we
stop
know she's a
that.
she.
Ooh.
Of course, Jade.
What's that?
No, I love that voice for you. It's a really good voice.
Oh, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Jade's gonna start wrestling with her thumbs.
Oh, cut that out.
So,
I
Marina,
was
you're on
unnerved to hear.
backstage, right?
I don't think so.
If this was meant
Oh.
to break me, you should have really tied the chair down.
I keep getting these. I'm part of like this website called Backstage, where you can be like
That was
extras in
beautifully
movies
painted.
and stuff.
Attention and control.
And I have a rather.
I don't get paid. I work for Mono and the
I
rest.
dropped the hand.
Again?
A rather unique look.
Well,
So I get invited to be extras in movies, maybe once a month.
That's awesome.
Don't be
That's where you're
attention.
wrong.
My hands are greasy,
Yeah, bother.
but I'm thinking about doing these
Cradles, erase
and then just always be in the background with my like Velen glasses on.
again.
So like you can watch movies
Hmm.
and maybe see Velen in the back of all these like B-rated UFC Detroit movies. It's just me with my glasses on. You're like, hey,
I
you
love
take
that.
those glasses off. I'm like, okay, and I take them off and put them right back on. Where'd it go?
That's a funny, like,
I don't
universe
think I understand
breaking,
what you're saying, but
you know, thing. It's hilarious.
is it something to do with
Oh,
the
there it
Fox
is.
coming in?
I don't believe
It's
so.
Drax.
I think you got the wrong girl again.
If we lose it, it's gonna
You're
be
saying that, but I'm certain I did.
better.
You were so good at this
Cool.
interrogation. I
Wait a
felt my
second.
heart
I
like
got a couple
spilling. I
questions
was
for you.
like,
All I need is nice.
like I was trying to zone in.
The arsonist. Whether or not
Yeah,
she's a
and
fucking mom, she is.
we had talked about
What's
the
the matter?
like Jade trying to get the interrogator to basically hit her so that way she could spit blood and do the really cool thing that she did.
Yes.
And I'm just sitting here like, you know, this character doesn't seem the type to get
Yeah.
too worked up.
I felt that too, and
Let me run this up the chain.
he was like,
You sit still. and Wait right here.
well, yeah, I felt that.
You see
Yeah,
this
so I
email?
ended up playing more into the big dumb
You see
Yeah.
how he walks off the
the
door to
thug,
right?
big dumb
And
thug,
he cracks up
less
the moment and you hear
into
some
the
mumbling.
I'm just gonna get angry because someone's talking down to me.
Yeah.
But I think it ended up working out even better because it showed that Jade's willing to go the extra step
After a moment, he comes
to escape and do what she needs to do what she's got to do.
Yeah.
That flight brand is, I mean, every so
But eventually, he does hit her, which is, questionable at best in real life circumstances. But in the game, it's like,
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah,
I guess we
and
can-
even so, she bit her
He
lip
steps
to
forward
try and get things
and
going. So if anything, he helped that
makes an attack
process
with advantage.
out.
yeah.
So either way, there was going to be a bloodletting.
My AC is. It's probably gonna hit. I'll be honest with you. 13.
No, it was
he steps
it was
up
awesome.
and with just a quick jab.
I did
tries to knock her
not
out.
have a chance to go into detail
you
of
across
the
the jaw.
consistency of Jade's blood,
You don't
but
go
that
sleep
will
easy, do you?
more than likely come up in another episode. It's because it's another fabric of her character.
Jade's gonna sit in the corner.
Yeah, it feels like one of those things where it's just gonna be like
Focusing on his.
she ends up bleeding something, and one of the characters is like,
She does.
"The heck."
She's gonna start wiggling her hands and cast Druidcraft.
Oh yeah, I'm sure it'll pop up in some way or form.
We
So
take a moment to head back over to the Happy Bubble. The four of you sit in your lounge, discussing and chatting.
I didn't end
for a
up
couple
liking.
minutes
I
of
didn't
that.
realize I'd end up liking
And you hear another
large Luigi as much as I did.
It's just me. You mind if I come in? I got something for you.
I love the voice that you picked for Large Luigi. You could have done any other, like,
Oh,
you
yeah.
know,
I swear if it's another
Italian
Luigi,
or, you know, any
Bring him in,
kind
bring
of
him in, bring him in.
accent, but you picked a very specific, almost
Oh,
Brooklyn,
what are we drinking more?
you know,
Marlo,
it worked
Yeah.
out.
Marlo, and Marlo.
Well, Brawl really feels like the New York of
Doing really
the,
fine, Danny.
you know,
Technically,
uh, sorry.
Yeah, melting pot.
Yeah, it's like kind of the New York. It's got everyone. It's got the different layers, you know.
Yeah, I'll see if I can get some next time.
It makes sense Luigi's there.
He sort of floats in and he drops you another round of drinks, including the J Tsunamis.
Rock of Brawl
I
pizza
got someone
must
here
be
that's looking for a
amazing.
grouper like yous. Just walked in asking
So
about some
good.
capable folks willing to do some dare and rescue.
Rock a
Interested?
bro.
Looks like he knows some money.
I might be interested. Ouija, if it comes through you, I'm okay with it. But you're by far the best aberration.
What were your inspirations to create the Rock of Brawl, or like how you were going about
You
it?
said he's got a drink for
I-
us?
it's
Rock a Brawl is directly from
I
the
really
drunk? You can absolutely
the book.
module, yeah.
Right,
This
but
friend of yours, he's got
you
more
brought
drinks
it
for
out
us.
in a certain way.
Mm.
Oh,
Usually people ask you to do
I
stuff. They
genuinely
Alright,
I took
more
it mostly
drinks,
by the
guys.
book. In regards to characters, that was meant to be a little Peaky Blinders
Sorry, yeah, that is a 7.
Oh.
would be my biggest inspiration for the Rock of Brawl.
Tin Man's the soapest you've ever seen him.
It's so weird you bring up Peaky Blinders. Someone at work is watching it right now for the first time. And I've
love
watched
it.
like maybe like 3/4 of it, and I stopped watching it. And he asked me why. I was like, I'd never really thought about it, but I always felt so like dirty while watching it. Like, open a window, let some air in. Like every scene I watch, I'd be like, oh my god, I'm suffocating in this scene. Get some air in there. Did someone take a shower, please?
Can you guys feel that?
But it's industrial,
That
you know,
energy, boy.
industrial revolution, you know, Europe. It's dirty and gross. But as a viewer, I made it like 4 seasons, and I was like, I gotta take a break. Because I felt like claustrophobic almost watching it, you know, because it's like every dark, dingy room and like every dark, dingy person beating each other up.
It's like there's literally smoke everywhere.
Yeah, like
You see him talk to someone in the hallway.
it's like I need to go get some air between episodes. Breathe a
Maybe you
little
need to
bit.
breathe some actual oxygen.
Yeah, touch some grass. Those poor bastards never seen anything green. It's a great show. I loved it though. I gotta finish it, but
We're looking for bugs. There's one right here.
I felt it
Yeah,
with Braun.
And I'm gonna like do the point at the belly.
I
like,
am-
"Ah."
I ended up binging it when I was during lockdown when I was working my office job. I
Oh,
just sit
yeah.
there because we had nothing going on.
Yeah.
So I'm just like, fuck it, let's load up. Excuse me, screw it. Just load up Netflix and slam out some episodes or something.
Yeah. It's a great show. I love. What's his name in the?
Greetings, adventurers.
He was in
Cillian Murphy?
Oppenheimer. Yes.
Love him. He's part of the reason I started watching them.
Yeah.
I just tried to do it by myself, but this happened.
That's okay.
I
Oh, we're on ad break on Twitch.
I did this.
Oh, are we?
Yeah. Uh-huh.
If you want to pause.
No, doesn't it pick up right after?
See, let us get directly to business. as
I
time
don't-
is.
It
I don't know.
should
I don't think
delay
so.
it.
I have a
It
threat
continues playing in the corner.
Oh, really?
by some who see
Okay.
themselves as
Yes.
Didn't know that. I thought.
I guess.
Trivago.
This happened.
Hey, Trivago.
I thought it was.
Let's go on vacation.
So
I thought
many-
they paused.
Oh man,
the
look at all the
stream.
bearded white dudes.
Yeah.
I subscribed, so I don't see. Thanks, guys. Thanks a lot.
Yeah, no problem. Would just make you feel a little put out.
Hershey's.
I actually don't have it up right now. I'm gonna pull it up.
Oh, I cannot wait for Ghost of Yotai.
Yes,
Yeah,
Marina
we
was
were
just
talking a
asking
little bit
it.
about
Yeah.
Tsushima.
I gotta finish.
I loved Ghost of Tsushima.
I made it halfway through twice.
We can
Back
see
to
what
it.
you're googling, by the way, Matt.
Oh yeah.
I mean, not really. It's minimized.
While I trust her to take
No,
care
I
of
just
it,
like to put a
there
little
are
bit of fear in his
elements
heart.
about that cast.
I actually stream so much. I have my browsers open to the point I'm just like,
and my payment to you, should you be
normally there's nothing up on this. Ooh, there we are, live.
Putting myself into the debt of
This
others,
is
Now we're up.
one.
if you will.
Go ahead, sorry.
So there
Now
will
we're
be
up.
no
The ad break's gone.
misunderstanding that my debt to you
Yeah.
has remained.
This was one scene that I had wanted to do a little better. I got
say
two
he's-
characters in Jade's backstory mixed up.
I have a galleon.
So
that I
this
recently
this
purchased,
individual was a little
and for the return
they weren't exactly who they
of
were supposed
the
to be, as
assistant
it were.
of my dear friend. I may be willing to part with it.
Ship, you say?
Indeed.
I get a ship, and I get to free
The ship, you
prisoners?
say? Indeed.
Oh,
I'm on board.
Indeed,
Yeah,
his
this
presence was
guy.
still
Louis
felt,
James.
so.
Huh?
I think
And
Bullying
he's
him.
even
this
so,
guy.
that
Like,
character
pouring
could
him out.
He's already
put on a
dead.
mask and be someone else.
This is
so-
hand.
Try to like
Yeah,
crack my
and
back.
and what I
I
ended
think
up
we're done with this
basically
experience.
mentally justifying it as afterwards is he's trying to act
I can
cool
drink and make deals?
because the people he's dealing with.
Sort of Valen kind of annoyed.
Ah.
Grabs his
Yeah.
mug,
He's
like,
coming off
his
as
mustache,
approachable,
like, slowly extends
Exactly.
out,
a huge
180
manipulation tactic.
And then like a brew of
So,
some sort comes
even
out
more
180,
devilish.
spins back, retracts. All right.
Well, I thought that was Dayton for a second, like real life in the voice chat.
I'm gonna intercept it.
No, he's not here.
We've
I
had
would
enough.
have said something.
What you were saying,
Yeah.
Tin Man?
Someone influential stealing a girlfriend of yours there. They could just walk about and be the end of it. Take him back to some pretty bedchamber and probably never see her again. But you say
I
it's a
love
safe house.
Gonna start
Dayton's
sipping
work
it.
with Tin Man.
Yeah.
Explain to me who this person is.
He's
Yeah,
such
I
a
have
like
those.
a
That too.
Challenging prospect.
like a
Specifically
law-abiding,
for
like
sleep
kind of
yourself.
old western prospector, kind of like in the town, like
Doesn't matter.
you know,
Okay,
if
while
you're
we're having
heading
this
that
conversation
way,
Seeing
you know, kind of like that
man's drink, I won't just pour me
storied
strong
old
out of
western.
pseudopod and start drinking Czar's
Yeah.
drink.
Right out of my hand. I didn't even care.
Probably
Yeah,
know how to
it's like-
use a
It's
stick
like the
to
curly
find
straw goes into
water.
Czar's drink and you just see it flow through. Watching it.
Oh no, by all means, Nico, help yourself.
I wouldn't be
So what you're telling me is
surprised.
this is just some missing girlfriend. Your influential person here don't want her because she's pretty. She's got something going on. Is that
Got
correct?
information.
I love how the robot, the automaton, excuse me, had a water
I could say I
skin,
was desperate.
Yeah.
I don't wanna
and
get to
he's
that
just
point
like,
where
I
it's-
have it, and I don't really use it, guys. I'm like, okay,
It's
okay.
probably like super stale water.
kind of nod over at Czar. Yeah, I think we've been in places like this before. I get the feeling that's
But
why,
it worked for the theme, and even so, he had a low roll.
Yeah, you
But
have
you
me.
know, it's just
This is-
hilarious. Like, why
Yeah.
do you have a
Kinda
pouch full
and
of
then
water?
also
Don't
that
ask
when
those
it's really
questions,
boiled
Jade.
down
Like, don't ask questions like that.
Nico, kind of friend, I don't believe you have quite the experience we do on these matters.
Don't ask questions.
Hey, somebody need some help? Sorry.
Never mind.
Seems
I
think this
lost
guy's
it.
good people.
No, you're
Decent
good.
people.
I think the way
Let's
that
do
he
it.
framed
And
it was
Nico,
he
just
uses
stand
the
up.
water,
When do we start?
the
When we
water
stand up, I'm
pouch
going
to
just draw on
balance
my-
his
my
gun
camera, like,
on,
you
which I
see,
thought was
uh,
very
Oh, Iron Man
smart.
style.
No, kind of. Like you just see, basically see his all that stardust. That's
You mean
inside
when he
his
was
body
trying
kind
to
of
put
puff
out the
and as it comes
fire?
out, the armor just like constitutes
He
around him.
mentioned in one of these little
One,
clips
and
here
then that
that
gets cooler every time I
he
see it.
usually
Two,
uses it to help
I
steady
can't
his
speak in the
gun,
testament of this man's character.
but in
Kinda
this
like
case,
a-
he used it to try and put the fire out.
A
Unless I'm
sandbag
just
Yeah, we can
almost.
get
hallucinating.
ship and get the heck off.
You know,
I mean,
like-
Could have
I'm
been.
all for it.
Yeah. You know, like when you, if you go to a shooting range, you
Yeah,
can
like,
put
use a
something
sandbag
underneath your
and stuff.
rifle to help steady it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I like that.
It could have been I was just looking away or reading something when he said it.
Honest answer. All right, sounds like we're all on board.
Maybe I was
Fantastic.
hallucinating.
Fantastic.
Who knows?
Okay.
But you know,
Would
I kind of
appreciate
got.
if you were to
I could have sworn you said something to
visualize
those,
sooner than later.
to that.
He pulls
Points in the
out.
right direction. Sounds like you
I
know
wouldn't
what's
put it
going on.
past Dayton to come
He
up
pulls
with
out a
something
piece of paper from his pocket
that
and sets it down.
inspired.
This is a map
Yeah.
of all the safe houses the Red Scarves have to their name. You can see several of them are crossed out.
I was thrown off a little bit because you said red scarves, but earlier it was like red masks.
You don't
So
recommend
I had
going
everything written out as red masks.
I'll be right back.
Yeah,
One second.
it is red masks. I forgot. I literally forgot the word mask when we started the session. And so I'm like, okay, just red
There's an
scarves.
internal family matter.
It's okay.
All
This
this
is
stuff out here is-
this is the process.
I'm glad you understand.
Well, we better be quick about it, boys.
You'll notice that there is one
Matt
native dock
steps
that is
away.
not
We better be
crossed
quick about it,
off.
boys.
That is where I believe it will be. It's a former longhouse made into housing for workers, though since abandoned, likely purchased by the Red Scarves themselves, if not Mono. Regardless, this is where I believe them to be.
Nobody asked about
Here we shall
mono.
go.
I got one
Nobody
question
asked
before
about
we
mono.
Take this off.
What?
What can you tell us about what we're expecting in there?
I think Jade's gonna
What do how do
probably
they travel heavy?
question that.
They got a monster in the sewer system. What do you got for us? I'm not walking into this thing blind
Well,
here.
mono.
Is
Nobody
there a barbarian named
asked
Frank
or
who uses a
approached.
big,
Jade didn't ask about
like,
mono
club
because
that I should
Jade
watch
couldn't
out
be
for? You know,
bothered.
like-
But still,
I like how I had to
I've been
think
here
of
before. I've been here
one
before. If I'm walking into
fantasy
the red
name.
spot,
Just
you know,
on the
there's gonna be a
spot,
few
one
things we gotta
fantasy
iron
name.
out
That's all I had to
before we
think
just
of.
rescue someone.
And I came up with
You know,
friend.
I'm concerned with the specificity of
I mean,
It's-
there's precedent there. We've dealt with
We're focusing on
Fred.
the wrong things, gentlemen. We gotta
Okay,
save
the
this young lady,
precedents
and
are
I'm just
not.
wondering what the
That's
heck I'm gonna
not
be walking
why
into.
I
Hopefully not
said
that.
I was trying to think of a name so hard. Like,
Never mind.
Just say a fantasy name, and it was like Fred. I'm like, what?
I think it worked for the absurdity, though.
I think
You were
so.
providing it as an example, but I think it worked.
Oh.
I thought it landed.
Yeah, it definitely lands, but in my head, like working up, just and it came out Fred in the back of my head. I'm like, what the hell, Fred?
Correct. The red scarves. They are very distinct.
Anyways,
It was done very well. Like, I thought it was accurate. Like, yeah, Fred, I get it. You don't
Yeah.
mean like literally a Fred. There's not an orc out there named Fred.
As I mentioned,
It's
this is
But
it's
with
one
our
step,
luck,
it's one
Yeah,
step
now
better
there
than
is.
just saying Bill.
Potter situation.
So we'll go to the docks now.
It's
William over here.
yeah, Bill,
The notion he's
Fred.
Oh,
No.
So funny.
To point out the ship once you wish her.
I will be 2 seconds aware.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Big Lou, what you say, buddy?
No problem. He hits him with a whole person spell.
All right, have 5 Jade Tsunamis ready to go when we get back. All right, we might not have much time.
Jade
We might not
Fox,
have much
Jade
time.
It's
Tsunamis.
humiliating, but
I actually, wow, wait,
All right, and I'm gonna go over to my trunk. I'm gonna kick it open, and I'm gonna pull out my armor piece and start putting my
such a
armor on
long
and get ready for
montage
the
while
next
everyone's
one.
waiting.
And pull out my laser pistol and kind of like check it and get ready and be like, all right, guys, let's do
Cute.
it.
Valen says that, and Zar's already at the door. Valen, what's taking you
Yeah,
so
like
long?
everybody's
full
already
suit up.
at
It's
the
not like
door,
Iron Man
and
armor where
one's
it's
just
like
like, hold on a
really quick.
second.
I'm like putting my boots on. I'm like tying them.
Dylan's putting on socks that have holes in them, putting them in his boots, and everyone's just like, we're here waiting.
Where like it shifts between a shield and like he's like it just becomes a clock.
Just
and he goes,
Tin Man looks at his wrist, and then just like the plate goes back, and there's a
just like
watch
turn around,
there.
like tripping over, putting on my left boot because I'm ready.
Yeah.
As we start making our way up the stairway, Tin Man's gonna saddle up next to Zar. I get the feeling we're gonna want to play this quiet and close to the chest. I don't know what family
I'm
this
about to get a new ship.
I love how he played Tin Man as the person with urgency. Like, we need to do it this way. Like, he has combat experience.
Yeah.
I thought that helped the narrative stay direct, like helping the compass kind of move north as they navigated through this. And you've got Nico and Zar kind of tumbling through walls, trying their best.
Zara actually like putting on a forward vector, and Nico's like, well, nothing's standing between me and where we're going.
They're in the right place at the right time with the wrong place at the wrong time.
It was a really neat sort of divergence of how they each handle things.
Yeah, I thought it was really cute.
Yeah, Nico's much more direct, as where Zara is much more fleet of foot, where he's like, let's work around this.
It was very Guardians of the Galaxy. How like each little group can branch off briefly and show their individual talents.
Prefer to be out of there before fire.
100%.
Josh saves Aaron scene coming up. I'll show you what.
Oh, no.
Oh,
What?
Josh saves me in the scene coming up, and oh my god, I'll tell you what.
Yeah, I got a couple tunes I can
Okay.
You know how that is. All right, come on, boys, pick up the pace.
all right.
Oh,
So with
look at the place.
the map in hand, I would like whoever has the map to make a quick survival check to navigate your way through the city. You can have someone else help.
Oh,
you
it might not be right now.
I'm assuming that's valid.
I'll tell you when it is.
Let me
I'd
see.
say Valen or Tin Man. One of you guys was doing that.
I can do it.
Imagine Nico just sticky-handed it off the table.
How's a 15?
Roll again with advantage, just to
Hey,
see.
I'm giving somebody the help action. Whoever's rolling is getting that advantage.
All right, we'll go with the 15.
15.
Yeah.
I want to see how creative Alex
You've been here once or
gets
twice
with
before,
the
Valen,
plasmoid
but you also have a
physiology.
natural mind for cities
Yeah.
and layouts and such like that. It becomes
Well, don't let him off the hot
So it
seat
doesn't take
then
long
and
for
say,
you to
well,
make it down
what
to
does
the
it look
docks
like?
and
Explain
navigate
it, you know what I
your way
mean?
to This longhouse.
Yeah.
You can see that it seems to be something of a.
Because sometimes he'll hide a little bit
the front door is on
and
the
feel
side.
like, oh,
Yeah,
I don't know if I
There
should
is
say
a-
this,
like a longhouse that
or
goes into
is
the
it my
gate.
turn to really go
Excuse
into
me.
it? And then it won't be as his turn, and he'll go right into it.
You step off the street and look up
No,
and see
but
the
yeah,
front
hold
door
his feet to the
is
fire
closed.
if you
It
want to
doesn't look
push
like it's
Nico
been used or
to
been lived in for
get
quite some
more
time, as many
creative
of the
and
units put up.
you
Save
know,
for a single
set the
mid-sized
stage
window
for
at the
him.
very top.
And I'm gonna kind of like put my hand.
Yeah, and I've,
over my-
Yeah,
over
this is
my
the scene
shoulder
right
and
here.
maybe like, what do you think we go loud and slow?
So
No.
he saved me right here.
What mission have we ever done loud and slow? And don't say the time with the Ferris bug.
Okay,
Okay,
so
is that what
the
you-
whole time Dayton was explaining my
All right, fair
plan,
enough. Quick
I'm
attack.
thinking like I want to do a plan that's
While they're
kind
doing
of
this,
the
Nico looks and he's
opposite.
looking at the door.
So like, let's go knock
can
on
I
doors
try the-
around.
the handle- is it locked?
Let's make sure everyone's aware like what's going on and like get the street presence going.
I am going to try and pick the lock.
And then the scene energy started to die, and I was like, all right, I'm just gonna say the opposite, slow and stupid. And then when I said it, I was like, that doesn't seem like a good plan just to say that. And then Josh hit me with, don't tell me about that one time. And I'm like, thank you so much, because I just opened a dead dialogue that was not making any sense, and he came right in and saved me. I was so nervous when it came out my mouth because it was nothing like I was planning.
We'll be getting there. Okay.
Yeah,
I didn't know
it ended up being a neat little moment
Yeah.
between Czar and Valen.
You played it off very well, and I've noticed that pretty much everyone on the stream
Yeah, well,
plays these things off very well. I mean, you guys have done multiple episodes to get that. I'm trying to catch up.
So the need to get in and out.
yeah, he threw me a lifeline there, and it felt great just to end it right there with that dumb comment I said. Thanks, Josh. I know you're not here, but I'm gonna just say thank you.
I don't think they're the ones doing it though.
And in the middle of your conversation, you hear a click as Nico pops the lock.
He's in over here.
Zar, cover Nico. Keep that rapier.
When I started thinking about creating a character, I did stumble on Plasmoid, and I almost went that route.
Let's go.
It's hard not
So
to.
Valen
It's a
and,
very
Valen
inviting,
and T-Man are going around.
like, race for Spelljammer.
Ooh.
I feel like Plasmoid's one of those races where you have to, you gotta have, either you gotta play it super by the books, or if you have a creative DM, a
Yeah.
DM that's willing to let you push it a little bit,
You get out towards the street, and
then
start
you can
smelling
really have some
smoke.
fun with the race.
Yeah,
Hey, we got that fire.
it's definitely very unique to this story setting. So it's very
You continue around.
enticing when you're doing your initial character workups and going through everything the module offers.
And then I'm gonna make a
And then I'm just gonna turn around.
The Plasmoid and the Hadozi were really enticing, but I feel like the line you have to walk with a Hadozi would be too difficult for me. So
Did we see Valen making notions of
I have another lioness character lined up that would be
Valen forgets he's only
awesome
supposed
to
make
play at
motions
some
and she
point.
screams a little bit. So Nico,
Oh, I
the
can't
door
imagine
unlocks. What do you do?
Valen not being
Okay.
in that campaign.
You
But
push it open and almost immediately
Kate'll do her
you're
best to
greeted
try and keep
with
everyone
a
alive
club
as it
attempted
fits to
smash
her
your face.
agenda.
What's your current AC?
I have
19.
Okay.
I have
he whiffs.
planned
You see
for
as
the
you open the door,
eventuality
inwards,
of
and then
each
suddenly one of
character
these lights starts,
passing,
like a
just
touch
in
above his head goes to
case.
swing down and then
Hey.
fall outside.
Oh yeah.
You always got to be ready. Have you guys read any of the villain lore I've been dropping on Instagram?
Yeah, he's sort of laid out
Yes.
on his face. while he's kind of
Ooh,
blowing his face.
they're fun, man. They're
Okay,
super fun.
Yeah, I really like
action 2.
specifically the what was it?
I would like to know.
We want him alive.
We talked about it a little bit, but the sort of like the
The-
age-based caste system.
Yeah, the Zarkeel, the Rite of Zarkeel, and coming of age. Yeah.
His lance. Well, I wouldn't say
A lot of this stuff I'm sharing too is real just
look like metal, kind of turns
in
soft,
the
and it splits out, and this kind of helix-shaped lance
world
comes
of
out, and
Valen.
he
Nothing that
goes
really
like,
has to do with
stab
them.
it
And
towards
if you guys see the post, I
red
put his
card. But
notes
as
in
it
the
goes,
back,
he
and they're
spreads out
super
and
fun to
basically locks
write
them into place, and you just see
based
him
off my
Blackwall
writing.
Singularity holding up
They've
high,
been
and
super
as
fun
he
to
goes, Nico goes,
create, and
there,
I've been
and I'm
like
like,
kind of
"Hey."
working on them with my mom a little bit and sharing
Let
with
me make my
her.
attack first to see if it
And she's been super fun and cool to work with.
27.
Yeah, 27.
That's
absolutely
awesome.
hits.
Ooh, I don't know. That's close.
Yeah. I've
Roll your intimidation with
been
your
working on some journals too, and it helps me catch into Jade's character, like even build,
Okay.
Yes.
role play
Having this
origins.
and
I've
the
sent some
embarrassment
to
of having
you.
fallen
I've sent
flat on
some
his
to
face,
Mark.
Yeah,
sort of
I-
really
You guys
I-
can all see 'em. I'm still making them.
And then immediately being
I'm
hit
gonna.
around.
I have a set of
I'll see you right here.
18
All right,
chapters from Valen's personal library that I'm sharing that are all just really just
with that,
stories
with that,
revolved
I'm
around
going
astral
to-
elves. Nothing that is like really
where is the other one?
too big. Just about why they have
There was
dreadlocks.
a
You
person
know,
using
why they
Oh,
stand
yeah,
in
he-
lines.
you said
And a lot
two
of
people
it's
tried to do this,
actually
one guy that
based
don't
and
like-
written
Okay,
off of my,
Okay,
my
yeah, I'm going to use
perspective
half my movement
of
and
living in
room, when I see when I
Japan.
walk in.
And I mean, everyone that's watched the stream knows like
You can see
a lot of the
Gargoyles,
astral
and
elves,
Warren's Great Red Bear,
like
and some other sort of just
aesthetic is based off my travels in Japan and living there, and you know, just being engraved in the family structure of a Japanese family. But a lot of these stories I've been writing are like lose connections to some different perspectives and ways I saw the Japanese culture while living there.
Yeah, we're trying to find that FIRE.
Yeah, and it feels a lot more. You come by it honestly because it is a lived experience.
Yeah, yeah.
So as you come around,
And
it's
it's been super fun and like introspective and kind of like self-discovering to kind of think in those terms and like mirror their society and try to understand it from the outside and represent it. But yeah, it's been super cool. I have like 18 chapters. I stole the entire like model from Oblivion and Skyrim. I've been playing those games for like the last forever, but specifically Oblivion. In all those books I was opening and reading, I'm like, oh dude, they're just doing a chapter here, chapter there, but it makes it feel so big.
You realize that the opening of a water.
So when I was reading these books while playing the game, I was like, oh, that's interesting. And I would kind of like look at how they like put them in order and the different themes of them, so I could kind of like emulate them, so it felt something familiar to like people watching it or viewing it on Instagram.
You borrowed
I bullied so much on him.
You strike like a child and you question like a drunk. Are you always as charming?
Yeah, it was super fun. I've been working on them for maybe about a month now, and finally started to put them together into some form I could share them that weren't just like notes on a board and notes in a pad. And they started shaping up really great. They're super fun. I love making those things.
They're fantastic. I adore them.
I want to be able to showcase a lot more characters and be able to bring more lore to some of our platforms via that way. So once we get done with this little section of Valen's lore drop I'm doing, I want to line up not only other characters so we can coordinate other lore drops, but also develop, and Mark, we spoke about this in the past, a interstellar newspaper that we would share on our Instagram. And maybe we make the cover or a few pages, and maybe we don't, or maybe something in our atmosphere makes the story, you know, and who knows, you know. But I want to start developing that here soon too, once we have enough stories to make a newspaper, you know.
Yeah.
So that's definitely all coming. And all those viewing, please go to our Instagram, like, share, follow, leave a comment on some of the lore drops. There's going to be plenty more to come. We have so much lore to drop, and they're getting a great reaction. There's a lot of views on them. There's comments and everything. So it's really getting out there to get some of this backstory for our character.
The leaves are starting to shake and form a word. And that word.
Mark, what was going through your head when Jade came back with those quips? And, you know, she was sizing up the guy when she was egging him on, the person who was interviewing her.
Forgive me, you hit me so hard. I'm in a bit of a daze.
My mentality was
Hey, what's that in the corner?
focused on staying in character
Kind of glance over.
and
So, the vines are going to say the word run. And just
trying to...
Flowers are going to slowly descend.
Oh, that's a good question. That's a really good question.
And they're going to look like monkey orchids.
I was doing my best to stay in character, but also try to give you questions that both gave you information, but also didn't spell out the plot, as it were, because, you know, Jade's meant to be some sort of a spy-like character. So just being able to glean information from passing comments and stuff like that.
Wait a minute.
The one that I wasn't trying to be subtle about was the involvement of Mono.
Yes.
You guys
Because that came up like 4 or 5 times. But like the misunderstanding, the miscommunication, and the misinformation that is being spouted was
completely messing people up with flowers.
Well, this character's response to everything that you were saying and doing was indicative of that misinformation.
But I think as soon as me and Nico here screaming, we're booking it.
So
yeah, we're
just
hitting it slow,
the
getting
fact
around
that
corners, just
nobody
right
seems to understand that there's been a
Jan
division
and Velen,
in
you're
the ranks
outside
of the
through left
GOR.
upstairs, and you can hear the sound of someone running down a wooden hallway upstairs, which after a moment turns into 2 summons.
10 Man's,
Forgot how
gonna think
fast
about
this
it.
goes
You
in.
got a magic spell to put this out?
Yeah.
I'm just gonna
Half
take
speed.
off my Eldritch
Yeah.
Cannon in the Force, like ballista mode, so it like does the like air cannon basically, and hopefully the concentrated oxygen doesn't make the fire worse.
As soon as I was saying
Yeah.
that, I'm like, this is like opposite of what you do for a fire.
So
Maybe I
it's gonna
shouldn't
be
have
the
said
Force
this.
That's it.
Walk me through that
Well,
one
and
more
don't they have
It's just
those
it does like a shockwave
fire
of damage
things
right?
that where you just
So
hit them
it's
with a
essentially just gonna
bunch of air really quick and it
disperse
puts it
all
out?
the
I don't.
energy from
It's
the
not
fire
oxygen.
into the air
though.
all around.
That's
right?
the
Just
thing.
Essentially,
Yeah.
all
It's
the
like
fuel for it is
car.
just gonna
It's
blow up.
CO2 or
Not like
some
explosive blow up,
non.
CO2.
It's like-
Yeah,
it's like you're
so-
dry firing an air
Okay.
cannon.
but- yeah, right.
Quite the opposite,
Oh,
actually.
local
I
firefighter is his axe.
if
Kill the,
anything,
kill the
accelerated.
firefighter.
Yeah,
quite the
it's
accelerated.
not quiet.
And
I mean, that was a really good roleplay moment. It's like,
Yeah.
what's Villain's intelligence at? What's
Whoa,
wisdom at?
whoopsies.
What does oxygen do to fire? Does Villain know?
Knows now. I was actually, when I was pulling it up, I was hoping there was a water cannon, but deep down I knew there was no water cannon, but I was still hoping like
behind you,
maybe
standing
if
in
I
the street,
scrolled
in the
quick
moment
enough,
of
it would
panic with the
appear.
fire, you realize that was not the moment for laughs. You realize that there's no one standing in the street at the moment. Standing in the middle of a street alone.
I don't know
is
why I
not the
laughed
right
there either.
because this is important.
Oh no, you guys were laughing. That's what got me.
This is BBEG early
Yep.
game showing up the glow type situation.
This
Well,
part
let's
with
walk
a,
through the
a
straw
low
here.
drop.
Glenn's kind of just like
coming
looking
out.
around
What
on
were
the
you
street, but
thinking,
also
Matt?
trying to look back to see how much worse you just made the situation.
I was.
What you see standing in the
wanting
middle of the
some
street
action.
is what looks to be some
I'm
sort
not
of
sure
feminine
if I
figure in
realized how
long,
important she was to your
pulled up
story
with
at the
a veil over
point,
her head, and as a
but
face,
I
all you can see is a
Velen
tiny
felt
white
pretty
mask.
dumb with the fire that
You can
his
see that
drunken
she
stupor
puts her
was
fingers together
like,
and sparks
hey,
seem to fly off of them.
I did something
And behind the eyes,
silly,
the mask, you
and
can
now
see
I'm gonna
burns.
do something
And the
like
ground around her feet
heroic,
itself is on
right?
fire, despite being stone. You can see
And
smoke
he
from
kind of
her
just
steps
jumped
leading up to this point.
right in,
Does she look like a church
right
or a kid?
in there.
No.
Okay, can I attack?
But yeah, he was feeling mighty silly.
Yeah. So seeing that this isn't one of the children, that I
The
can't
booze were
convert
making him
to that,
confident.
and seeing that the place is on fire, I just made it worse. I'll just kind of pull up my.
What was going through my
laser
head
pistol and I'll
was
be
like,
"Hey,
oh
just
gosh,
chill out and get
this
down,"
character
and
is
then,
kicking a
just
little
fire
too
at her.
much ass. Are they gonna be okay?
Balance, focus on her. I'm gonna try and take care of this fire. Looks like
Yeah,
Matt was using, but
those
keep focused
first
on it.
few
I'm gonna take it
hits
out.
on a low
Can I
draw, I was
leave?
sweating a little bit. I'm like, oh no,
That's not gonna help.
oh no.
So,
Yeah, she's gonna pop off.
Yeah, I don't think I'll get a 15. I think a 15.
Like, if this keeps going, then
And it's
I'm
just
really
kinda
gonna have to
like a
start
warning shot
digging into
anyways, 'cause I
spell
was like,
slots.
Hey, just chill out. I
Yeah.
don't know who the heck you are, but can you?
Spots of fire.
Good night, buddy.
not
I'll
do
see you
just
tomorrow.
like-
Okay, love you.
And I think
Popsicles before bed. Go get me one.
All right, we'll see you guys in 5.
That might
Gosh,
not
I
be
have
good for a
popsicles.
stream. You just sucking on a
What a
popsicle.
great
Well, we're
episode.
taking a
Thanks for
break. Go
everyone
get one if you
tuning in.
want.
We got
Yeah,
a new
here's
character.
running great.
She's here. She's
The
great.
whole
She's gonna be
5-minute
free
break
this year.
that's gonna
But until
last,
then,
I think, a
please
minute
check
and a
out our
half
partners
because
over at
we
Outfront.
keep Matt's little
They've been
thing
a
in
great
there.
partner of ours
Yeah, it's
for the
yeah,
last few weeks as we start rolling out these new projects. And I can't tell you how much of a delight it's been.
To
working with
just-
them.
it's really good
I need to write
advertisement.
a-
Is there any text
I
or
have
any logo
too many
thing that
characters
I need to
to print
fix
now.
or
I just
do
can't-
here?
I can't print them. Download them all,
To be
download them all,
honest,
and it's all good,
maybe,
all
but
fine. All
I'm
my
not
characters
too
are
worried
good.
about
All
that
my
stuff
favorite sheets.
because, like,
All of them,
we're already
all
doing
the
so
backstories,
much
all the books I write.
that
Everyone
it's
writes
like
the backstories for the level 1 character when they're already a
it's
hero.
so low
Get
on
magic to prove it.
priority
You
list.
Get that magic to prove it. We all have them. Now you can
Yeah,
finish them
I ask.
and make
Yeah.
your mini and complete
The one you made
process
is
of
great
bringing your characters to the table.
and in
Go
the
to
right direction.
EldritchFoundry.com or check them out on their
but,
social medias.
you know,
Instagram, Eldritch Foundry, and start.
Sometimes it's just best just to post stuff.
Get
It's
their
never
own
gonna, you know what I
unlimited
mean?
account,
Like,
you can make unlimited.
and I
amount
think
of
sometimes with these
And they got
partner
mounts. They
posts,
got little
it's like
bookcases, floating books, whatever. You
get
can
the
think of.
information,
Now, my personal favorite.
get it
is
in
the
there,
Fighter with the
and
big sword,
post it.
Okay.
You know,
I mean, I'm not playing him now, but
Or
almost
that's
every other
cool.
time I'm making him.
Yeah, no
I'm making that
worries.
human
I'm
fighter
gonna
with the big
focus
sword
on
because
character
that's who's in me.
portraits.
Yeah,
and stuff
that-
like
All
that.
right, so go to
I think
Eldritch
our,
Foundry,
that's what I'm saying.
make the
Like,
human fighter
more
with
what
the
I'm
big
trying to
sword,
say is like,
or that slightly
I think
different
the character
IP that you
art's
love,
more
you
important
know,
than
we all
developing
copy
art
IPs,
for her,
bring characters over.
basically.
You know, I have Goku.
Yeah,
I
energy
think
is-
people
played him
people
twice.
being
It's
able
awesome.
to see the
Go make
character.
minis for them.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
And sell them. The Dirty Dice Club Center.
Nicole.
Use GDC Live check
and
out
soul
for
taste.
15%
But anyway,
All right.
seeing the characters will be more
Matches number
important
4, better yet,
aesthetically than
Yeah.
our general setup. It looks pretty good so far, if we're
Yeah.
honest.
No, me and Marino were working on some new logos, some shared logos between like the DDC and like our partners. And they were turning out great, but at the end of the day, I'd rather have like art based on our characters than our partners, and just share partner information. You know.
I'll see you soon.
No, of course.
All right, we're back.
Yeah, I've got quite a list here, so I'm like trying to prioritize. I'm like, okay, I'll go
No,
this
I-
direction.
Yeah, it's just more like
where we left off is
what's
Velen and Tin Man
inspiring
lost some
you, you
unknown
know?
entity that seemed to have something to do with these fires, and Velen fired a warning shot. Oh, it will be good when you finally find Castle's cradle.
What? And did I hear that?
Oh yeah, she's saying it out loud to both of you.
I don't like the sound of that. Didn't it hit her?
Just that sudden
Finger, please.
what?
All right, fine.
Exactly the response you should have.
Level my weapon.
Who the hell are you, and why are you talking to me like this?
Right, make your attack.
Yeah.
I don't even know who you are.
Water balloon.
Yeah,
I dropped.
I felt that's the kind of energy I was feeling for Velen. Like, I don't know what battlefield and who these people are, but let's make some sense of it with our fists.
21 hit.
Yeah.
Roll for damage. 5.
Well,
Go ahead
and
throw on
as a DM, it's nice having a character that's willing to throw themselves into
Yeah,
whatever's going
Where are you
on.
aiming these, roughly?
and like
honestly, don't know who she is, don't know what's going on, and I don't like that.
Valen's
I'm
MO
shooting for
from being in like a military background, it's like
I'm assuming we're looking with
put people on the ground, put them in handcuffs, question them, and figure it out. It's not like a, you know, it's a real like militaristic like
You make your shots, and
it
you see
make
the first
everyone
one,
real
she just lays her
uncomfortable
hand,
so you can
and
make them
she
comfortable
falls
and
down,
figure
gets thrown
shit
off.
out, you know,
The
stuff
second
out.
one strikes her in the mask,
Yeah, and that's
And
kind
you
of
see
why I
she
really like
recoils, and then comes back
how
forward.
Czar
And
handles Velen trying to put Jade into handcuffs. It's
Absolutely.
like they're very different characters when
Yeah.
it comes to stuff like that.
Yeah.
And I doubt Jade never would have let it happen in the first place.
Nope.
She steps past you. You will get. She moves
But
close enough that you can
the
get a
fact
attack
that
opportunity
she's
if you
already
react.
found someone willing to stand
absolutely.
by her on that
Yeah.
matter, like maybe there's a little bit of camaraderie that can be built.
Yeah.
But that's the thing, though. I don't know if Jade's gotten like a good look on who Czar is, but she does know of him. So I think that hasn't gone into the story yet. I might play
Yeah.
along with it a little bit. I might poke your head about it, Mark, because I know you mentioned she's aware of Czar.
Yes.
Remember, she
Czar would have likely been employed on several occasions by House
Your
Silosha.
shot misses, and
So the name would not
without even
be
paying any attention, you
unfamiliar
shoot
to
her
you, though
forward,
you may not
and
have
you notice that
met
she
him
reaches out a hand for
directly.
the robes.
Yeah.
Some pale skin coated in blood red tattoos, and she touches 2 fingers against the wooden siding of the house and just
But
I love
when
this
the
part.
handcuffs came up
Right
out of
into
nowhere,
trails
it
of
was
fire.
like, oh yeah, meet a beautiful girl and got to put her in handcuffs. I see how that is. I'm
Hey.
just holding that back.
Hit it as she gets closer.
Yeah, I mean you can make the attack.
Guy or girl, we were gonna be handcuffed together.
Yeah, but
Yeah, but
it's there.
but-
I wanted that scene where like
Oh, that
you
was
go
me.
right, I go left,
I hit the wrong thing trying to.
and then like split
Um,
someone. No, you're on the lead. You're in the lead. No, this
okay,
way.
roll the damage at the same time. Okay, I
Yeah.
see. Yeah, so as she kind of
Cute.
comes around the
It's
corner,
really
it's just
cute.
sitting there, and like she probably lights it on fire, but it just.
But I think I'm gonna spend my
You watch as like
first
she
part of the episode
charges
trying to get out of
aside, and
handcuffs.
all of her clothes blow to one side, and she actually reaches out to hold the mask.
Well,
and
try and wrap
you
it
can
act
see as she
like I'm
turns towards you,
trying to
the
get out of
flame
handcuffs
behind the mask grows more
or need
intense,
help.
and you can see the edges of her clothing.
You're gonna
begin
get
to set on
yourself an
fire.
actual pair of like fake
I
plastic
have seen-
handcuffs and work through them.
While I'm in the real ones. Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Giving him
That's when
ideas.
I'm gonna like game again.
I don't like to toot my own horn often. Y'all know me well enough for that.
Toot away.
But the
She raises up and sets the side of the wall,
Elodra's
the building
2
ablaze.
fingers
Nico
against the
and
side of the
Zara,
wall
you begin making your way full tilt
was
towards the
probably
second
one of
floor.
my very
You burst through one
favorite
doorway.
little
Who's
moments
the
of
first, Nico?
inspiration.
Yeah.
I need you to make a dexterity saving throw for me, please.
with pleasure.
I was the thought that brought it to me from there was
Dex
the
saving throw, correct?
Correct.
it was the scene
How
in the
about a
insane
17?
asylum in Terminator
17 to
2
do the trick. As you open the door, you watch
where the
as a
guy's
ring
running
of
the
sword, a
nightstick
short
along the
sword,
side of the
slices down
wall.
Yeah.
through the doorway. On a normal person, it
I
would
love
go
it.
in the head if you hadn't moved.
But
I
I
love
loved
it.
it. It was
Clark said that
it,
he's
it felt like it really gave
Yeah.
Elodra a bit of sinister energy.
Yeah.
It did. It did so well. I was very happy when.
Oh, whatever.
I'm like, ooh,
You can
yes.
full tilt heading upstairs. You will have another move here.
All right. That'll get me to the top of the stairs.
All right. Jade, From where you are, you hear the sounds of people clambering up the stairs quickly, and the room is becoming more and more, or he's becoming hotter and hotter.
What were your impressions, Matt, when you
What would you like to
saw
do
her
this
do her orchids, her monkey face orchids?
Oh, I loved it. Honestly, like
just like last time, dude.
the idea of having
they're
like
going
all
to
these
start
plants you can draw
trailing down to the
inspiration
ceiling
from and bring them
going
into your character
themselves into the brackets of
powers
the chairs.
is so
Mhm.
cool.
Swing
And the
orchids.
monkey orchid is amazing.
So as you're doing this,
That's
as
that's
you
a
start to hear the
great
brackets of the chairs
choice.
start
I'm looking
the
forward
vines
to
come to a slow.
like
and you
the
feel a hand
surprise of
make nails
what
across your face
new or
It's not
what
behavior.
replant you're gonna
Yeah,
bring
yeah,
back
you can
out
see
and what
how you-
flavor it brings out in Jade.
Yeah,
You
a
realize
lot of
that
her
allows you
spells
to
are
manipulate
flavored, and I've gone through
it
and
always
looked at
has been
different
very
flowers.
Yes.
ChatGPT's been very helpful with that. It's
Um,
like, hey, this
your heart rate is
spell, what
Mhm.
could we flavor it with? Well, you could do this. Like, oh gosh, that's great.
Yeah.
So it's been a fun ride. It's been a fun ride building this character.
No, I like it, and the visuals make it really fun because
You know I love to tease.
flowers are
Especially when I have you at someone's event.
inherently beautiful, and people
You disgust me.
will want to look them up. They understand them, and they're so each one's so unique. It makes it a fun visual.
Say please.
Jade gives a face.
It lends a level
Alright,
of
please,
interactivity.
Yeah.
You hear
Yeah.
the snapping of a finger, and all at once the chair falls to pieces beneath you.
So here's my question, Marina. I almost called you Jade.
You come face to face
Either
What
with
would
did
work.
you
a pair
what did you
of these
think
scarves sitting
of
running through a pair of knives.
F showing up?
F?
Pardon me, gents. We're just gonna go
Ephemera.
in the direction you're running from.
Oh, you caught me off guard. I was completely caught off guard
And if you
when
don't stop them, they will shove
I
us
thought it was a
directly.
Lodra coming out of nowhere, and was
no,
like,
no,
oh
I know
crap!
we stopped
Like
you.
I froze. You
Stop
saw
that.
me freeze on camera,
Hmm.
and
Less bloodshed
I'm
here,
like,
the better.
oh, okay, so it's ephemera. Okay, well, Jade at this point
All right. Mark,
is
to
a
clarify
little
one thing,
unsure and
the-
antagonistic to
the-
this character.
Don't trust
Mhm.
people
So
with math. Like,
I had to play into that, okay,
we can't witness
fear
fall into that
response,
circumstance.
and then just this dread and
Make an
disgust.
insight check.
Okay.
I hope I portrayed
was
Can I
that
roll
well.
an advantage?
It was
You know
perfect.
Candidax pretty well.
The hurried
that was from Canada, that
please and
wasn't from
everything,
Vallejo.
like it, and just the way they interacted was
Okay,
very
so
much
20.
you can tell that
So
they
you know
are
that
not
Laura has
on
very
good terms,
Black and white. view of things.
and that Jade is very
And the
uncomfortable
scarf on
with
the
this
face,
character.
To her, you get the feeling
Yes.
does not evoke enough of a mask.
All right. Nico is going to give them as evil of a look as possible. To be honest with you, his helmet is a very angular, almost like pointed, kind of like Witch King.
That's another thing we need to do, Mark, is hold
he's
us
just gonna kind of,
accountable
follow
for
the people
explaining
running,
things.
And
You
hear the
know,
deep, like gravelly voice. It's like,
what does
Yeah.
that look
The safety.
like? You know,
don't come back.
Will be nothing to come back to. And he just continues
not that
down
you
the stairs.
don't do it, but holding us
Just
more
like how
accountable
the,
to share
the
it,
lance
because
as he's
a
going
lot of
downstairs.
us will
You can take an attack.
kind of hide
Action, considering your
when
boots on
it's
the
our
stairs,
turn, because it's
you roll
natural to be a little nervous,
Yeah.
right?
All right, that
But
means
sometimes it
actually,
just
can I
takes
change
like,
gravity whip?
well,
Make it like
what would it
going
look
downstairs.
like? You know, and
Yes, you can.
oh, it's that. Oh, someone else wants to hear it now.
Oh,
Okay,
21.
then yeah, then it'll be. I'm more comfortable saying it. You know.
Yo, you know.
Yeah, like drawing someone out to
Yeah.
get their
And he just,
yeah,
like,
I get you.
You know,
I wanted
creating
to
that
fix,
safe
but I
space
didn't
for
like
them to actually
So
express their
his
thoughts,
shield
which
retracts in, and the shield
you
is
know,
like
it-
translucent.
it's
Almost
such a
like, I guess you could just say like a light
sacred
you'd imagine
space you have to
a force field.
create,
It
but
retracts in, and that
Yeah,
and
hope-
it's a skill. Now that you
Yeah.
bring it up, it's a skill I intend to nurture.
yeah, and it's good just to hold us all, you know, kind of more responsible with the storytelling, to not just put it on you. Oh, Mark, what did that look like? You know,
Yeah.
you know, it kind of shares the burden of some of the storytelling, and gives a different perspective and style to it too. You know, the way I announce and tell something and how it happens is going to be different
Two of my
than what
charges
everyone
are
else
these
does.
drafts
So
to, basically
Having
increase my
players
max.
explain
And
the scenes that
I
they're
want to
creating,
Yeah.
it's not
run
unheard
through
of
the
to
wall.
be
Like, basically realize,
a
like, there's the wall,
character,
there's the hallway,
you
instead of
know,
going
you
down
don't
the
want
hallway,
the
I'm just
spotlight
gonna go
on
straight
you
through the
for
wall
too
into the
long.
room.
You want everyone
You're
else
just
to
gonna
be able
Kool-Aid
to
my
interact and
I am
start
going to go.
guessing yourself, so
Thank
there
you.
is that innate insecurity that we'll see. I've seen it in other campaigns and other you know, parts that
Yes,
I
go,
do
please, please.
where I've got people
gonna
who
go
are
get down the
not
hallway,
as
not even
experienced
considering
with
going
their
through the
role
wall.
play
Yeah.
as others are,
As
so
far as I
they
can down this hallway.
and usually the
That answers
DM or
this.
even
Yeah,
others
it's
would
not.
like ask and like
as
usher
we're
and
moving down the
nurture.
hallway, you can
So
Yeah.
actually
it's
see
all a
the figures
communal
along the right
thing.
side.
Yeah.
So
There
the
are
rest of
flames
us could do the
getting
same
up
thing.
this
Like, oh,
far.
what does
The
that look
building seems
like?
to be
Yeah.
actively on
You know,
fire. You can
because
start to
say
hear
if Jade
creatures
makes a
groaning
flower or
of
something
wood
and I
Yeah.
don't
away
explain
from
it
the
fully,
lower
maybe
floors.
Valen will pop in and be like,
Yeah.
Valen's gonna take a big old sniff of it and sniff it. You know, like,
Yeah.
okay, what does it smell like, Marina? You know, and it just plays into it. We have
Yeah,
to
and-
support each other.
And I guess when I say that, Mark, it's not necessarily on you, but all of us together to kind
I know
of
what
like
you mean,
hold
yeah.
each other accountable and not just hide behind the dice roll, but what does that dice roll mean? You know, what does it mean to Valen? How does that? How do you see
So I'm
that?
gonna,
You know,
like, astral step in front of her.
Yeah,
And then, like,
100%.
try to
And
tackle her.
just the prompting of how does your character handle that?
Yeah.
So you're gonna roll a melee attack.
Could definitely give people that little bit of an in that
Yeah.
they
So
need
that you get on
to
armor
start to
check.
embody their character a little further.
yeah,
22.
Right.
I was
you're
kind
now
of playing that in my head
And,
too.
I'm
Like,
gonna-
what if Jade
Like,
screwed up a
let's see what you
roll?
look like under that mask, and
How is
she's
it
trying so
gonna
hard to put it back
play
on,
off
hold
as,
on
you
to it,
know,
and
oh,
start trying to
she
pull it
lost her
off.
footing. And I mean, I'd fall into it. I would play stupid or whatever, you know, as it would need, you know. But
Yeah, but the dice were so on your side.
yeah.
oh, they knew. It's like, no, show this character off. I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
That's
It
our
was
first night. Do
incredible.
well.
The tail end of Nico and Zar heading upstairs, and then you see two
Like,
of the
over-
red scarves sprinting the opposite direction.
You
One of them
rolled
looks to be a little roughed up, a little dusty, but aside
3
from that,
dice.
they're moving at pretty quick speed.
And they were all above average. 2 of them were well above average.
Ow, ow, let's go.
I did fumble on that. I apologize. I know how to use D&D and Beyond. I just got nervous, and I got
Alright.
stupid when I got nervous. I'm like, I know how to roll advantage. I've just done this for years. But I'm like, how do I do it? And thank you guys so much for helping me with that, because I was like, oh crap, I'm screwing up.
And I'm like just
So-
struggling, trying to like keep it down.
Yeah, and I think as we continue playing, we're gonna get a little more
individual,
comfortable,
you
and everybody's
feel
gonna start
as,
falling
as
into
you
their
reach up for
rhythm.
her face, your fingers
Yes.
start to burn, like physically burn. You can see as the skin on your finger starts to char, and whatever hair you
There
had
you
on your
go.
hands is now scorched away.
This part got me scared. I'm like,
have
oh
to
gosh,
try
bye,
it.
Valen.
Just kinda, like, start screaming as I'm doing it, and then like let go, like, but I'm like still on top of her.
She brings a hand up and presses it against your chest, and I need you to make a dexterity saving throw at disadvantage, please.
So Elodra,
Oh boy.
she doesn't just do fire sorcery.
Okay,
She
okay.
can boil
17.
All right, let me
the
roll some dice.
fat underneath your skin to make it ignite.
That's
Oh.
not good.
Yeah. So when Mark did a candle, I thought we were going to kind of lean into what that candle meant. But I'm sure that will come out in later.
Well,
You know.
Mark, thanks for not boiling my fat.
Yeah,
I appreciate
when I knew it was gonna be point blank, I'm like, I should take it easy on him.
Yeah.
I want something with spectacle, but I don't want to straight up murk a character. It's also not
Yeah.
like, as a DM, I wanted to avoid that, but also I didn't feel Elodra found him enough of a threat.
Yeah.
Yes.
Nico, you get up
Yeah.
to the second floor. Nico, I want you to make
Who's this
And I
drunk-
respect that. It was
This
done very
drunkard
well.
that just jumped on me from the street.
He's grabbing at my mask. I know how to deal with this.
Hey,
We'll
get over here, I
fireball
got
and
some
be on our way.
handcuffs.
Zar, you hear a crash. From
Yeah, it
behind
was
you,
done very well.
And
I'm gonna go into overdrive.
Jade, from your left, you watch the wall crumble as an odd-colored plasma light bursts through in what looks to be. Go ahead, Alex.
She
Yeah,
would
here's
have
Alex,
zero
yeah.
idea that I'm a plasmoid. Like I'm
Yeah.
wearing like your prototypical anime style like exosuit.
Yeah, you
Kinda
don't
looks
really
like it's a very
explain it.
angular Mega Man. With
Ooh.
basically got,
I
like,
will have to
arm-
sit
arm
with
cannon
Alex and get a
a,
description of
Felix
his
lance.
character.
Does she look
Well,
like the person we're
I'll
trying to
post a
help?
picture of Angular Mega Man.
Doesn't look like the person we're running away, if that's-
You want Angular Mega Man? I'll
We
show
never
you
actually given a
Angular
description.
Mega
What does he look
Man.
like?
Jade is tall and
Perfect
speculative. She wears a
angles,
sleeveless, high
every
sleeved
part
brown
of
silk
them.
kipao, embroidered with delicate floral motifs. And
Oh yeah,
comes with
that I
flowers.
see. I thought that would be him.
Stockings that disappear into thorn-edged heels, boots, blending
This is what
elegant
I
pink
thought of when you said
with
Angular
golden
Mega Man. I'm like,
ornaments
oh, it's just zero.
swept in an intricate
Me
uplift
too,
adorned with
immediately.
silver gleaming letters,
Why isn't it
light
loading?
jewels,
Load
delicate
Discord.
flowers, and piercing red eyes complete the look. She is a deadly flower in bloom. Now post an image.
This is great, by the way. All of your descriptions and kind of like
You did, right?
intros and
It's like I'm this is the
description were
knockoff
just
version of
fantastic.
everybody's favorite
hmm
80s video game.
You did
and,
such a great job.
Hey,
Ah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
See you
Would you
there.
like to show the audience? I have her.
Oh yeah. Her token.
Token upsized in the corner.
Also, too, when I do the episode breakdowns, if there's any scenes specifically people felt like they wanted to share, if you
Now,
can
we're
let me know
bursting into
so I
this
can
room,
make them.
is it
Generally,
clearly
I'll
on
take like the
fire?
top
It has not yet
5 or
begun
6 out of
on
the
fire,
30 I'd
but,
make.
heat in the room is indicative
Right.
that,
But if there is
the
a
fire building is
specific
being
scene, you're
not
like,
long
hey,
before.
can you make
That
some
said,
short form of that?
as you enter,
Just let me
you
know so
actually
I
are
can
a
like
little
go out and
surprised
through and
to see that
find
there seems
it.
to be vines
Best way is to
growing
get me like a
in the
time
corner
code,
above the
like
wall to say run, and then from the
between
ceiling,
1
and of
hour
course, all
and
wrapped
1
around
hour
the
5
chair that this
minutes,
woman
so
is
I
now
can
standing
kind of
in.
go through it. But
Yeah, like a
Let me
timestamp.
know whenever
yeah,
I'm corner and
let
you
me
know,
know
right
because
perfect.
yeah, I can bust down all this into all short form for anyone.
No, that was
And what I
Zar,
can do even
what?
is once upon a time
It's
when
her,
we were
right?
still
We're-
in
I think
academy,
we're here to help you. I think.
I was taking
Wearing a red scarf?
timestamps of what I called memeables,
Do you
Yeah.
have a
which are
red
just
scarf?
little things that we could pull out
No, I
and
don't
could
Yep.
be
Then I
like a
think
little
she's the one we're
10
here for.
seconds
We
short.
gotta
I'll
go
start
to
taking
this building.
timestamps of those and sending those
I
to
know
you.
this.
Yeah, and you don't have
Got
to
it.
do it alone too. Just really, if
Looking
we
at her
kind of
clip, she
all
looked visibly,
do.
it's like she looked like she was bound.
Yeah,
right?
there's like a scene at the top of someone's head. They're like, "Hey, I had a
Yes.
really cool moment. I would like
Yeah.
to see that." Yeah, 100%.
And also, like
Um,
the scenes I do for Valen, of course, I'm gonna think like,
Alright,
oh yeah, this is a good scene. But you know, if everyone tells me the scene they really felt was
Yeah,
their
come back
strongest, then
this
I'm not
way,
picking and choosing. You
and-
know what I mean?
Yeah,
I'll,
and you don't feel
That's right, there's a
biased.
window
Yeah,
perfectly
yeah.
fine right over there.
I try to get one of like every character, one of you, Mark, kind of
That's not a bad
one
idea.
of the story, something that kind of highlights all of us.
He's going to again charge towards the window.
Sort of give people a taste of what's going
see,
on.
As he
Yeah.
does, like the armor on his feet get are currently bigger, as if he was trying to push more mass through the wall. As he goes, he's going to transfer that weight up to his arms, and his arms get slightly like the armor kind of plates out a little bit more there. As he shoulders his way through the window, doing so before that, I'm also going to hit the table or chair in the room with catapult and catapult it through the window.
All right.
Smart.
The catapult goes off without an issue because it's an inanimate object. It can't say no to being thrown out a window. So
My flowers!
the
You threw my flowers!
the window shatters outwards, and you hear some whimpering as the red scarf you left below is showered in glass. But the window.
Sorry.
It's within like a 2-minute window. The glass.
I
window
feel
is
like
black.
that part where
I
he
can hear the
says
fire,
sorry
fire
could
up.
be clipped into a
Yeah, real tight.
voice or like
Guys, be
a,
quiet,
you
okay,
know?
man?
It was just
Soundboard.
hilarious.
Yes.
I was a soundboard. I was driving home and listening to this, and some douchebag cut me off, and then goes, "Alex is sorry."
That's so funny.
Oh, I want to replace the horn on my car with that.
Sorry.
I didn't have a token for her prepared. I'm sorry.
Just little things, little things.
Yeah.
Use Nico's spare token.
Actually,
Yeah.
got an even better one. So she's just passing you, Tin Man. As she's walking past, you can actually hear her muttering under her breath what sounds like encampments and chants.
Encampments.
And you actually
Brain went can't say chant twice.
seems to be some sort of deity.
Incantations. It's funny. It's fine. I just every time I hear them, like giggle.
I'm always speaking in encampments.
Does lock up for a minute.
I could have just named the episode Encampments and Chants.
A deep breath, which for him.
I love
is
it.
like-
I love it.
Oh, you said encampments? I thought you said encampments.
No, I think it was Incantments.
Turns about face.
Ah.
Ma'am, I'm gonna have to ask you to stop right there with the silver liner drawn, or with the dove.
Oh, I love this,
This
part.
part.
I can't wait to find out who we just murdered and how important.
Oh,
could
I'm
have been.
afraid
Level this.
because it could
Oh.
be anybody.
Over her shoulder.
oh, I love it so much. I love it so. I want to tell you so bad, but I can't.
Touches
It's-
the top
it's-
Yeah,
very end
I,
of the
It's
yeah, I
alright.
know.
So Ryan.
Could only imagine who it is, but at the same time, it's like that's gonna hurt.
I fired.
Go ahead and make an attack roll.
It was Crux.
Oh! I
That
should have
one?
yelled. I'm gonna be in so much trouble.
Oh, as soon as I
It's
yelled,
it's not
I would
literally
like you to
Crux
roll
though.
6d8.
it's Crux.
No,
Ooh,
Yo!
as far as you're aware, it's Crux.
I don't know who that
And
is.
you'll be able to roll
My
another one
character
of those
doesn't
here.
know. Sorry.
Yeah.
It's like Ronald McDonald. I'm like, okay.
Oh, that's
Who's
Oh.
Mert?
Goodness.
Yeah, I imagine Jade's gonna be doing a lot of like, who is this
my
person?
game is low because it's going so much dice.
Good.
Can I just say that when I was
Wow.
building
Little sister,
Mert, I
little
had
sister.
so much fun. I
Wow.
built him as like a straight fighter. He's it was a battle master fighter,
Because this is a clash of powers.
but
that
also
both
mixed with
don't
a bit of
go fast.
flavor from an artificer.
Yeah.
Because he literally had like a grenade launcher in your guys' first fight with him.
That's supposed to happen.
Tim, it's like, I don't
So
remember it on
epic.
firing like this.
Hello turns and walks away, and you level the silver liner with your request for her to stop. When she
Oh,
turns
so another
and
little
pushes
thing
the
that
gun
nobody
towards
really
Gabby,
brought up.
you pull the trigger.
Elodra referred to the dove as little
You
sister.
feel as though
Yes.
Yes, I did notice
Len
that.
brought it up and joking, and I'm
Mhm.
like,
watch
nobody
as
said
the
anything.
gun goes,
Yeah.
so the dove
Oh,
fires,
we're gonna be talking.
and the bullet actually swerves around Elodra. And
I
strikes
thought that
the
was a
individual on the
beautiful
street.
little note. I'd love to
Oh.
explore that.
You hear in your head as you watch this individual literally be consumed in on itself in a miniature black hole. I told you, each bullet has a fate. None of them bear her name.
Wait, who said that?
Duff.
Oh,
Gonna
That's it.
rewrite the gun.
Whoopsies.
it's cursed.
Whoopsies.
She's too far beyond me. Tin Man knows that. I'm gonna pick up Stargrazer and hoof it to the other side and go check on Valen. This is a losing battle. He took his one shot, and it wasn't fated to happen.
And as he comes around the corner, you see me kind of like all smoky, right? And I'm like, as like a bunch of like smoke comes out of like every hole in my body. I'm like, that one hurt. That one really hurt. Who was
Are
that?
you alright?
Give
Hold up.
give me a hand up, and I'll try to like,
dusting him off.
I'll get
Kinda
up,
I
and,
love
like
hot
this.
embers.
absolutely smother him as I'm trying to get up using his tiny little body and like almost pushing him down, right? Oh, thanks, man. Where'd you go? I think I could take another one or two.
Let's be honest right now. Let's focus on our mission. We need to get out of here before this gets blamed on us. I point to the blaze in the corner there.
How much HP did you have
Then we need to get
left?
out. Where are
I could have taken. I would have
But I think I
taken.
could go for another
tanked
one.
another one,
Come on, buddy. Let's get going. Let's get going.
but then I would have
Alright,
been
alright.
looking for my blood,
Hobble
my fake
along.
blood.
Where are the rest of us?
That's for sure.
Yeah.
Nico, you plummet to the ground.
Because she
Are you attempting
rolled
to miss the individual
really
on the
mid.
ground?
Yeah, I only took
Well, no,
18 damage
he's
of
there
like
for one round. If he
maybe like
chooses to-
38.
It's
You
so
told him not to
bladed.
leave, he's still there.
Oh,
So like
Okay,
it
because, yeah,
hurt.
like, basically, he took a whole bunch.
A
it was
lot.
More or less, is doing damage to incapacitate him. So,
But
if
I
he would've
was.
moved, he would've
I
taken,
didn't hear no
another
bell.
28 on top of, the 188.
I didn't hear no
I
bell.
don't know how many hit points he has. I was assuming he's either going to have been knocked out or dead. If he's still there, I put him on top.
Okay.
Or help you.
in a non-lethal manner.
Yeah, basically coming out the window.
Great
like,
music
oh,
choice again,
hey,
Mark.
he's
You
still
killed it.
there. And just kind of like
Thank you.
use him to break my fall.
It brings a whole nother element to the
Ryan,
show.
Let me get struck by flying ice.
Yeah, and I want to start getting
And
some more subtle background sounds, like
More
ambience.
seeing I'm about to hit
motifs,
this
yeah.
person, I will reconstitute those
Yeah.
charges
Something
so that,
familiar.
and basically
This
he-
count,
he's,
yeah,
he's
yeah,
medium. I
yeah.
don't know what we ever decided how much the gravity's grasp weighs.
Did a
He
great
said I can
job.
basically,
Yeah, go ahead.
I was easy to
Thank
say, manipulate the mass. So it's kind of like I will strip as much away and make it, make myself basically as light as a plasmoid, but wearing big giant armor.
You land on him.
I'll be back
and you
once.
hear a couple of bones
I
crack
like
along
how
the way. It was a
Alex
jump from a second,
doesn't
but
bother
forward.
thinking I could just
100%.
not land
But,
on him.
but you hear him screech and pull his
Yeah.
arm to his shoulder.
Yeah, like,
and seeing
you know,
others
comedy.
down, he gets up and runs away.
Yeah,
Sorry, Jade. I gotta get
it was just funny because we're sitting there
Jade,
debating
are
like
you,
how much does a
keeping up with-
plasmoid weigh, and it's like you could just not land on it.
Yes, Jade's going to rub her blood into the wall, and vines are going to spill out like a column of branches to the ground through the window, and
Love
she'll
that.
kind of nod towards where the branches are going.
Thank you for allowing that, by the way.
Ta-ta.
Of course.
She'll just jump
Because
out
like
and
Druidcraft, I could do that with
That looks way
Druidcraft,
cooler than
right?
jumping out this window.
I think it might be a bit
Do-
much
do I-
of an effect for Druidcraft,
If they
but
remain there after
I mean,
she
it wasn't.
Seeing them jump
It
out,
was
I
a
will-
moment of
I'll
rule
do
of
a
cool,
spell
and at
slot
the
cast
moment,
Nightfall.
it was more important to me for us to showcase
Oh,
Jade's
okay.
skills than be a rule stickler.
Marina, I
Yeah.
presume that the
I was
Vines
thinking the
take,
alternative is like she
substantial
just
numbers
pulls
on
out
you.
her whip and
Yes,
says
it's
bye and just swings
If
out.
you are able to climb out, though it is at this moment, Marina, as you are partway down, you see a familiar face, or the mask of a familiar face, step around the corner.
When do we get to see what the mask looks like?
I don't think I like that.
Marina posted a picture in the Discord
yeah.
while we were playing.
Oh, I
Yeah,
must
in
have missed
campaign
it.
I posted 2
Another
pieces of
safe house
art.
turned to cinders, dear sister.
Mm.
Lady
This
Magdalene
part.
approve of this little tantrum, or are you freelancing?
Love that.
I'm here to bring you back as
All
action
messed
reserve
up.
if I need.
We have
And you do
notifications
so
all
by burning down
wonky.
the safe houses in this area.
Here, I'll post it again.
Doesn't quite sound so smart. Then again,
Oh, loading.
you weren't the clever one in the group.
It's in campaign.
Well, if you do seem to believe that, yours, as removed from the circle as you always have been. I burn
Matt,
you
can we
down
get this at normal
like
speed?
Rat you are.
What's wrong with rats?
What's wrong with rats?
You burned down Saloja's own cradles for me. Buildings, bloodlines, generations. For me, isn't that just adorable?
Yes.
A beast with a leash too short to
gonna
turn,
ask.
but long enough to fetch.
Oh, that was.
And how
Oh.
many more rooms will you incinerate before you start and ask why.
You know as well as I that Our Lady's will is that of Kosseth to me. There are no questions, there is only doing.
You think Kosseth's wrath burns through you, but darling, I see it. That's not divinity. That's obedience. And she'll
It's so cold and cool.
run a finger across her neck.
So cool.
I'm trying.
Kind of gestures.
Like so cold and cool.
So loyal to your lady, so eager to please. All it takes is a snap of her fingers, a hint of flame, and you're off you go, snarling and blazing and begging to be useful.
Our Lady uses my talents because she knows I am effective, and have always been effective. You, however, that discussion comes to bear.
Ooh, I can't wait to beat her up.
You're just a matchbox with legs. You're
If
supposed
I were only that, would I have gotten you here?
I guess. So what will you do now? Think you can catch the fox?
Well, if it were
Everyone felt
only
that.
me,
Yay.
That was amazing.
Sight
Damn.
as some of our other members. So I thought to bring the foresight with me. If you escape me now, just know that our eyes will follow you, and so will I. The cinders will claim you, Jade. That is an inevitability. The tepid vines by which you cradle yourself, and the toxic queen that controls you, is nothing in comparison to what I bring to bear, or what Our Lady will field against you should she need to.
Ooh.
Funny you say that. That toxic queen. Considering our past with Our Lady in Waiting, Mother Darling, Lady Magdalena, I'm beginning to like this one, this toxic queen that you mentioned. She's not quite as bad as it comes out to be, but then again, leaves a lot more to be discovered. Elodra, do take care of yourself, and I do beg you to ask those questions. And much more than that. I know I tease.
Look at Dayton. He's so excited.
Yeah,
He
No.
loves
Those
it.
questions.
Oh my gosh, I didn't cock that to
Who's
this
really in
now.
control?
Like Dayton and Zara were like spilling.
and I will
You know what,
ask
time to
you.
say that I've got chills.
Can we hear
That was
this?
Oh yeah, you as you come around the corner, you can absolutely hear this conversation. Zara and Nico.
I think you
are
can
right
put it
there.
back to time and a half. That
I'm quite confused.
I love that
Yeah,
conversation.
Nico
Yeah, that
100%
was
is like safe to like,
amazing.
kind of look at his art. Do we hit her?
I think it was a
And then
you
as I-
did so well,
as
Mark. You
I come
played
around
with
the
me
corner,
on it.
and then
Thank
I'm
you.
like, "Zara, Nico,
You
get
know,
down." And then,
I however
try
we
that
need to do
over
that
the
again.
shoulders.
Like we just, you know, we shared a couple notes, but it was spot on. I loved it.
Bang!
Yeah, it was really good. And
And,
after
I
like
kinda,
the
pull up my normal laser
the
pistol,
interrogation
and
scene,
some
I think
energy
we
comes
really
out of it,
locked
but it doesn't
in,
kill her.
and we're really able to play against each other like that pretty well.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Visual
we
turns
look
and
forward
looks
to
over her shoulder to
more.
Glenn,
It's like,
and then back to Jade.
shoot that person that just got hit again.
Just the best you could muster. These buffoons. You run with them, you may as well end up killing yourself at this rate.
We're
That won't
bums.
be that.
Zara, Nico, this one's too far
You
for
just
us.
pop
Yes,
in.
get out of here now.
I loved that.
Wait, I think I have something for this.
Okay,
Do I? I don't think I do. I would if I had one more luck with Paladin.
I had the idea bike.
I think I have something for this. Never mind, I don't. Alex, though.
Yeah.
You are muted, my friend. We cannot hear you.
Oh yeah.
Hey, I was like, no, if Tin Man
His
had wheels,
little
he'd be a
trick
bike.
at the end, though, it was good.
So
Loved
good.
it.
Motorcycle. Yeah, no, Nico, did you hear what Tim
Because
said?
at this juncture, I'm like,
Yeah, that's okay.
how does
I
she not
basically,
catch you?
Yelled out, this one's too far
Yeah.
above us. Zara, Nico, we need a smoke screen now.
But Alex's interference gave you the
what?
exact perfect amount of time to get out.
More or less, we're just trying
Yeah.
to buy ourselves some time to get out, correct?
Yeah.
So run. Tin Man said, hey, don't fight her. We will all die.
Got it.
Got it.
I also appreciate that everybody
Really,
like pays attention to
I just
what
thought,
Tin
yeah,
Man has to say
okay.
when it comes to threat assessment.
Yes.
Knock her around a
Yes.
little.
Zara's gonna lean in and go, lady we just rescued, didn't have time to catch your name. We gotta go.
Yes, I've gathered that. Where are you going to go?
Guys, this way. And I'm just gonna wave them this way.
In that direction.
Let's go.
We
I
definitely need
love
some
that
kind
you're
of
on the
smoke screen.
other side of Elodra, so you're waving them past her.
Yeah, no, that's not a bad idea. We,
Fate has smoke screens. If you really want.
I just imagine Lodra standing there like, is this
I'm
really
actually- I'm
happening?
getting cast. It's one of my level 2 spells,
Realizing she only
and
has one attack of
essentially,
advantage and like who to
I'm
use
gonna
it
put
on.
warp her inside the building.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Love that. And he's in exactly the right position to
What
do
is
it.
the
Yep.
Constitution saving throw?
Yep, and it's a con save, and the spell save DC.
Oh, and the
is
dice were so on your side here.
Natural 1.
wow, try not to be loud because everyone's asleep.
That was so cute.
With the like smoke screen, I'm like,
The last
This
one
thing's
I
like-
yelled
I
so
don't have a prepared to
loud.
do, like, it's like, wait, if she
I felt so
back in the building, and
bad.
he just like basically like you see the center of his armor just kind of flare up as
I immediately
Stardust come out
texted
of
everyone
his
in the
shoulders,
house and said,
and Singularity
"Sorry."
uniform underneath her, and it's basically you see her kind of spaghettify into the Singularity, and she like goes back into the building. Well, that worked. Let's go.
That'll do it. We gotta go.
What is Nico's class? He's an artificer?
Fate follows.
Correct.
Confused.
And we're like
Artificer
running down
wizard?
the street, like looking out.
Oh no, he's just artificer. I gotta double check. I gotta check his character sheet again.
I think
assume it
it's
was you.
straight
We weren't given an
artificer.
we weren't given an apt description,
Yeah.
but you
Okay.
were the only one not wearing a red scarf.
True enough.
He flavors the heck out of all of his stuff, though. That's part of
Yeah.
why.
No, she'll be fine. That's not going to kill her.
That makes it unique.
I wouldn't
I
walk
understand.
over it.
It's as you say this, and you are running down the street, that you all hear a large explosion come from the house, and an entire front facing of the house just shatters out into the street in flames.
Run, we gotta go.
She's too far back to catch up. She's too far back to catch up at this point. You're just about getting up to crowds and bustling of people in the
She's really angry, but she's over there.
you do
You're
see
fine. You're fine. Go.
Yeah, can you tell I'm trying to get ready to wrap up the episode?
Yeah,
You
I
guys are
feel
good.
that.
Just go. Just literally just follow the trail that says escape this way.
And then I'm gonna take off.
I don't care.
I'm gonna take off my
Guys,
vest
I don't
and give
know.
it
I
to
get
a
this
local,
feeling that we're
be like, "Here you go,
far enough
buddy."
away that she can't
and then,
follow.
have him wear it and then
Don't you?
and then kind of disappear in the crowd. Be like, "Hey,
Oh
I'm
yeah,
cool with
you're
it."
best.
And then disappear into the crowd.
Yeah.
Tomorrow, he magically produces another one. Just
Some homeless guy just got
And
jumped.
like, hey, guy, like I said, like warning was like, there's a
Hey,
person
get
with a
off
mask.
me!
It's
I
really
just got
dangerous.
this
Stay away from her.
vest.
I think she blew up that building.
Let's go.
come on, let's go, let's go.
Is there
As you go ahead.
is there any sewer entrance around here that we could sneak off into or kind of run and hide into?
You're trying to end the episode.
All right.
And I'll give
How
you
about a
to
sewer
do
adventure real
a stealth
quick?
check. Try and blend in to everything.
Is there a thieves guild in the sewer so we can go check out
Better than that.
in the next
Thank
10
you.
minutes?
It's also worth noting that being placed on an asteroid, there might not be much of a sewer.
Yeah.
Oh, that's in that one for me too.
I mean, aqueducts
So, as you
exist.
reach your way to the
They've
crowd,
gotta
you
get
hear
the
what
stool
sounds
out of the
like,
city.
Patricia and Nico, as you were, yelling that there's a fire.
Ancient
again, why would I
Mexico,
wanna go
the
down there?
Aztecs, they had a city that floated on top of water. They had, aqueducts.
The two of you
Tenochtitlan,
sort
it was
of
like
help
that.
the others,
Mhm.
had, before this,
See?
stated that you would be needing
I'm gonna have to have you send me the name of that so I can look into that and use that as an inspiration.
Done and done. I'll also send you the
I'm sure
Babylonian
the
Hanging
armor-
Gardens, which is another good one
Mm.
too.
That one I am
And
familiar
it does,
with,
like,
but
heal-
yes, go
Tin
ahead.
Man-
Takes
Aha.
off his hat and sticks it in his bag and then pulls out like a smaller hat.
A smaller hat.
A smaller hat, yeah.
He already had a small hat on.
Did successfully stealth away.
It's like a, it's like one of those Russian dolls, just a smaller hat and a hat and a hat. Till no one recognizes him.
Wait, no, I got a nat
I also
one.
love that he can just sort of like expel alcohol.
I got mixed up. No, you're right. It's Zar and
I love it.
Wow, words. Yeah, Zar and Jade.
Because he got a spigot underneath his
Okay,
his
cool. So,
mustache.
so yeah, I guess me and Nico are just gonna take the long way home.
Right, Valen, you have trouble finding any sort of sewer entrance, but you do realize that this is
yeah,
alley.
yeah, there's no sewers,
There's
dude.
like
Get over it.
I'm like pointing to this alley.
Like the
I don't know,
nicest way of
pushing
saying
people
there
out
are
of the
no
way.
sewers.
We're not doing a sewer adventure, dude.
You're having trouble finding any.
You find your feet in the alley. The three of you have a moment to stop and breathe. Jade, Czar, and Valen.
Whoa. Okay. First of all, what the heck was that? That was. We were told it was going to be like no one there. Who are you?
Yeah, he said there were going to be no traps. I found
You're
two.
with Nico.
You know, there you go.
You're with Timmy.
Who?
Nico, you're with me.
I love how
Yeah.
Nico was like, I was there. No, you're not.
He's just peeking back into the
I have to ask your
alleyway, just
ascension.
like, what the heck?
I'm just as perplexed as you are. I mean, I'm grateful that you saved me, but
He did in fact say not to ask any questions.
I was-
Unfortunately, asking for a name was a question.
I may have been drinking a little bit when we took it.
I definitely was. I'm professional.
Uh,
I give him that look like liar.
with good big hearts.
Hey, hey, hey,
You
leave right there.
liar.
Dave,
Why are we lying about our drinks now?
So who are you? Why did we just risk all that? It wasn't what we signed up for at all.
Valen's still charred.
Some of my dreads are still smoking. My eyebrows are definitely singed. I take off my glasses and there's like smoke, like around my eyes, like in little circles. Try to rub them.
My
Jade's
man, you're
gonna,
not gonna have eyebrows.
Was that Jade?
Jade's gonna tilt her head a bit, and she's gonna pull up her arm, and in her hand, it's gonna start glowing a pink glow. Little blossom's gonna
I
blossom
love
from it,
this.
and she's gonna say, Alethea.
My dumb face, like so surprised.
And she casts healing word on Valen.
Thank you.
Florist.
Just thank you.
And
It would have been so funny if I healed you for 2 health. I'm like, you're
like,
welcome.
that's
And I
fine.
just
really
walk
appreciate
away.
it. Thanks for the shit. Whatever.
was prepared for that
Really
mentally.
super did. I appreciate it, but that doesn't answer the questions of why it was so pressing. We saved you here.
I'll be honest, the less you know about me, probably the better. But I will give you that as a thank you.
As soon as he said that, I'm
gonna
like,
need some
bet
answers.
we're
We gotta
locking
get back
arms.
to Luigi's spot, and you're not leaving our
Well, I
side.
think the answers can wait till we get back to Luigi's because
Yeah.
we're gonna have questions for her and we're gonna have questions for the other guy.
You're not leaving our side. And then, can I try to hit her with some handcuffs and handcuff
You
her to
have
me?
handcuffs? You just carry manacles on you?
Yes.
You have
Oh,
manacles
Valen
on.
meets Jade immediately, wants to
Jade
put
sees your
handcuffs
gesture,
on her.
and she's just gonna slowly back into the shadows.
Oh, wait a minute, wait a minute.
I think
wanna
Zara
at
will
least,
get in between both of
I
them.
at least want to try to
Not
Mission
cool with the
Impossible a handcuff with a sleight of hand here.
Not cool with the handcuffs.
Okay. She sees it. She backs off as I like unkey it. I'm like, all right. No mission.
Not cool, Valen. We didn't rescue a prisoner to take a prisoner.
That's a good point. I didn't see
I
it
like
as that.
that.
I was just trying to protect it. Protect us. We don't get separated and left out here.
Were you gonna cuff her to you?
Well, I've actually cuffed myself to myself. So do you have extra keys?
I believe they're in the house.
That was funny.
And like I
I'm
pull up,
kidding, they're right here.
I pull up my hands like slowly, and they're like cuffed to each other.
Jade's curious what Ephemera thinks about all this.
Jade is just looking like, oh my lord.
Yeah, she's just like in the corner staring at a wall, just like, what's happening?
You see his very tiny, almost.
I'm gonna stay cuffed for a while, I'm not gonna lie.
Snakes and form a face.
I like the idea of me being cuffed for an episode
It is.
as I frantically just look for a way out instead of helping.
I'm sure Czar or Jade even would be like, okay, let's free him. As long as you
Imagine
promise
Valen's
to
gonna be
behave.
all knowing this.
Delicious.
And they're just gonna chuckle.
I like to think as the Vine Face calls us idiots, it pans over to Czar trying to pick the cuffs on Valen's bracers.
On that note, I think that's what we'll call the campaign for the night.
Oh,
Oh my God.
Hey, great episode,
It's all
Marina.
right, Nico. It's all right.
Thank you
Guys,
so
we're gonna
much.
be extra
We had
foolish.
such a good rhythm, I could
Great
feel that.
episode.
Like, no,
Thank
we
you
don't
so
want to
much.
go.
Mark, I'll get you this
Yeah.
uploaded tonight, tomorrow. Thanks for tuning in. We love
It's
having
always
you.
the hardest when
Marina, we love having you
like
back.
you
Mark,
fall into
take
that
us away.
rhythm, everybody's starting
First,
to
I would like
really
to
like
say a warm
vibe
thank
and
you and a warm welcome to Marina
like
for
just
being
fall
officially
in.
one of the smartest
Yeah.
Spelljammer
And it's
players.
like, oh, we gotta
I'm
go.
very much
We gotta
looking
call
forward
it.
to Jade's story and where we take this.
Okay, Dad.
But yeah,
I'm
so,
sorry, little one.
before
We
let
only
you go,
have
don't
so
forget
much
to watch
time.
this, And in a couple of weeks, we'll see you in the stars.
Yeah, see you guys later.
Love this song.
Oh, the one in the episode.
Yeah. It's not so good at 1.5 speed.
Remix.
It's great still, but not as great. Wow, that was a great episode. That was awesome. Thanks for everyone that tuned in to watch us. Thanks, Marina, for
Yes, thank you
tuning
for being
in.
here.
Thanks, Mark, for joining us tonight.
Of course.
Let's see, we're going to be live next Monday, right?
Yep.
Episode
plan.
5. I can't believe we're already on episode 5 of season 2.
I know we're almost halfway to as far as we made it with Academy.
So, well, we did 10 in Academy, right?
11.
11. So this is gonna be our 16th episode. That's wild, guys.
Yeah.
That's
We'll
awesome.
have to do something when we hit 20.
Yes, definitely. That's so awesome. Anyways, thanks so much for tuning in. Thanks for joining us. This was great. Check out our partners over at Eldritch Foundry. Use code DDC Live and tell them Big Mash you sent you. Get their
Old
Eldritch.
Foundry.
Yeah, get Eldritch Unlimited. Make all the characters. Share them
Make
on our
money.
Those STL
Instagram.
files.
Yes.
Unlimited.
Limited. We got a lot of
And
great
also they're just
projects
cool folks.
coming up here, guys. I can't wait to share them. We're going to be releasing a new show here called Table of Tales. There's so much more information we're going to be sharing in the next few weeks, and I cannot
A lot of
wait.
exciting stuff. It's going to be super cool.
So cool. So stay tuned. Check back in. Check out our socials. Say hi. Say hello. Share it. Whatever we do. So until next time.